order. Our opening business is approval of agenda and consent agenda. This time I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All right, moving on to old business, we have none. New business is rate increase.
Yeah, I'll take this. Thank you, sir. So, as we know, we talked to the board of supervisors about just since this is the PSA board, we currently are operating at a deficit from Old Town Fairview of approximately $175,000 to $200,000 from our from the rate increase that's been we absorbed from Galax. Galax has increased the rate last year, and the proposal is to increase it again this year. What the board of supervisors, which is you, which is kind of weird, I guess. What they've recommended is to somehow reduce the amount of general fund dollars that are going into the overage, which would mean a rate increase in Old Town Fairview. Our goal is to provide in the budget a rate increase that is anywhere from 35 to 50% of the excess fees right now. So the water rates in Old Town Fairview will increase based on what we find out in the next couple of weeks. We're working with the city of Galax to try to reduce, to try to have them charge us as a single customer. Right now, they are not doing that. And so our goal is to have them charge us as a single customer, which would help reduce the rates. If we can do that prior to the budget season, then we can land a little softer on the rate increase. But if not, then we'll provide a rate increase of 50%.
Does that require any action from this board tonight, or is that just an update?
Requires a public hearing. We'll have to have a public
So
hearing.
we need to make a motion on public hearing and raising the water rates for that.
Yes.
All right, this time I'll entertain a motion to announce a public hearing for the rate increase for the Old Town
Water. Old Town Fairview water for the
Old Town Fairview Water Project. So,
Second.
the first and second, is there any discussion?
One thing, I just want to be clear that this rate increase is not affecting the grant water customers as well, because I know there's been some discussion about that.
correct. I would say correct as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
We did discuss in the board is there anything by code that would affect this? I haven't done any research today on that. Have you? No. So we did not have time to look at that since we were here late last night.
Can we clarify that before the public hearing?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
I think on the grant customers pay a different rate right now.
Right now, okay.
Grant Troutdale pays their own rate based on what the city of Troutdale sets it.
Okay, well, that probably answers the question.
Any more discussion?
No, that was my question too.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'm also aye. All right, updates, Louisville Lane.
Yes, sir. So Louisville Lane is continuing. It is on schedule. So right now we have, the engineering firm has applied for the permitting through the Department of Health. And I have not heard anything back on that, but I haven't heard anything. If I had heard anything negative, they would have come to us with that right away. So I don't anticipate any problems there. We did receive the erosion and sediment control permit request, and I think that was reviewed and that's complete now. So that part of it is done. I say right now, as soon as they get the permitting back, then they will go out with the RFP. They go out for a bid process, and anticipate that before the end of June. It could be sooner, and they're not gonna hold it up any. So as soon as we go all permitting, they're gonna start that process. But right now, we're still on target for a completion in calendar year 24.
They got any questions?
So in calendar year 24, so between now and December, those folks could potentially have water.
Yes, sir.
I know we're not on the
You have to wait for public
Okay.
comment time.
All right, that's what I wanted to know, I don't know how it
There
goes.
should be a sign up thing out
There
there.
wasn't.
That, we didn't have a public comment.
You're gonna get to speak as soon
Okay.
as we get there.
That's all I wanted to know.
Any other questions? All right, moving on to our violation for overcapacity.
Okay, we're still under the overcapacity violation notice. We've been working with the city of Galax with the engineer. And they are agreeable to correcting that. We've basically requested a 15% increase in our allocation for Fairview. Like I said, they're on board with it. They're working on the letter. They have requested, because they're applying for some loan funding through the federal government. One of the things that they are asking to make their application process simpler and more likely to succeed is if we can combine the agreement, the rate increase agreement, or the rate agreement with the city, combine Fairview and Old Town so that they're both on the same agreement. And that would be my recommendation.
Would the 15% cover us to keep us out of
Yes, sir.
being in violation?
And actually, we've been making some progress on some leak issues. So we're actually we could probably come into compliance without it, but I still would like to pursue that as insurance, if you will.
Anybody got any questions?
Yeah, as far as the leaking issues, and you put a new meter in,
So we have put a meter in. That was not because of the issue of capacity though. That was just because the meter failed. We did have some issues with one of our tanks. Our water tanks was overflowing, and that was a pretty significant amount of loss. We saw about a $10,000 improvement in revenue this year. This billing cycle. So we think that we're making some progress on it, but we know we're not fully there yet. We're still bringing in BRWA, the Virginia Rural Water Association, to help us do an analysis of our usage versus our billing, so we can continue to improve that. But for the overcapacity, the letter from the city of Galax is what will take us out of violation. The health department is aware of where we're at on that, and they're on board with our plan. I talked to them this week, actually.
Mr. Chair. So if you said that potential $10,000, you mentioned saving on the water bill cycle, 2 months, so there'll be 5,000 per month. Is that what
That's what it looks like, but we're only looking at one billing cycle, so that's not a good data set. But we did see an improvement over this billing cycle. We're pretty sure that
so for 2 months it's improved that much?
yes, sir.
And so to say it's not a good, because are you saying it could get better? Or are you saying that was kind of over because it was the first month or the first?
Right now, it's one data point. I'm not comfortable making a prediction on one data point, but it's a good data point. Let's just go with that.
All right.
Did you say Mr. Speaker?
No,
No, he said Mr. Chair, so.
Hey, I'm gonna curse you.
Hey, I got a quick question on that. If we have found that these, if we're conserving more water and saving $5,000 a month, we need to take that into consideration in the rate hike, correct? So if it's $60,000 a year, if this one data point, I'm not saying that that's what it's going to be for the year, but if we keep improving and it's $60,000 a year, can we readjust those rates if we have decided we've gone up too much, I guess is my
That's
question.
exactly what I was gonna ask too, so.
based on the numbers, we would still be at remember at 35%, you remember the number we're set at 120, right? And at 50%, we were just at 100. So you'd still be at a 40-ish, even if the number is exactly right at 60.
Gotcha.
If it's better, I think.
Because even with the rate hike adjustment, we're still losing.
Yeah, what we don't have right in front of us right now is if we can convince Galax to drop us to 550, what that would be as well. I guess the one thing I don't know is if we implement a rate increase and then the data bears out that start aligning, we can get the numbers down, then it'd be easy to come back to board and go, hey, I think we can give a decrease to the water rate at this point.
Okay, great.
I think it's just data. If the numbers, we can verify the numbers and they work, there's no reason to, this is not, we're not having water to make money for the county. I know that we're not interested in that. We're just trying to provide a service and break even. That's really what
Any more questions?
When is the next billing cycle?
Just the current billing cycle.
So we'll need 2 months. July, thank you.
We'll be watching it.
Okay, next update is the PSA SOG 11 lead 7 copper service line and identification.
We have contracted with Lane Group to perform the inventory. We have contracted to get the website done, the PSA website built so that it meets the federal requirements for reporting on that. Of course, we'll use that. So right now it is continuing. It'll be a continuing process. The hard deadline for us is October 20th. Once they complete the initial inventory, then they will turn the entire package back over to us and we will maintain it on a continuous basis then.
Any questions? Okay, moving on, proposed change to disconnect policy.
Yes, this is just a heads up. We did receive the updated legislation for the utility disconnect. It is going to have a change. It's going to cause a change for our policy. The current policy is pretty good. There is a requirement, though, that we will not be able to do disconnects if there is an anticipation of temperature below 32 degrees within the next 24 hours, or if the temperature is above a heat index of 90, I believe it was, within 72 hours. So it's going to restrict when we can do cutoffs or shutoffs for people who are not paying.
That requires no action from this board. That's just an update.
That's a
That's
policy issue.
state policy.
We're already meeting most of the guidelines for that. We don't do weekend disconnects. We don't do holiday disconnects. This is just going to make it a little more restrictive.
Okay, well, if there's nothing else, that is the last thing on the agenda. And ma'am, if you would like to ask a question, if you would, please come to the podium, state your name and address.
He's not gonna talk. We've both been sick, so, but anyway, I'm Holly Mosier. 394 Louisville Lane. We've been in contact. I think we sent some emails and letters out with no response from anybody, but
Well, I responded.
we never received it.
I responded to your email, the first one.
Do you know what you responded to? Because we've been checking diligently.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
send it and find it for you.
Unfortunately, when you go on the website, there's no contact
Our
information
website
for
has
anybody, so I just,
You did.
you did. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah.
You and him. So, but anyway, long story short, I know I've talked to Mitchell, just talked to Paul, and you're saying we're on track, but then the paperwork's still at the health department. So I'm just kind of trying to figure it out. We're worse than we were when we came in August. His uncle is no longer allowed to drink his water. The health department said it's not safe to drink. Miss Wood's house cannot be put for sale because she still has no water. We can't have any kind of loan with the bank to build or to buy a modular because we have no water. So we're living in a camper right now because we sold our house. And after we had the meeting back in August last year, when we were told it was emergent, we were thinking spring because that was mentioned, but now we're in the fall, but we're saying it's going to be 2024. We're just trying to figure out where we are. I mean, we're getting ready to be on a year and we have no water. And I've actually contacted a well driller in Boone just to see, and same answer. They blast on Thursday. The veins are going together. The ones that you were here in August, I think you heard Mr. Little speaking. Now, every time his uncle who lives up here, Mr. Little lives here, well here, he turns his water on, his water goes off. If he turns his on, his goes off. The veins are running. We've talked to everybody, so we're at your mercy. I mean, I'm paying $4,000 personal property tax on time. There's just so many things that we're doing and we're not getting any definite answers. And I know some of you are new, and I just need some concrete answers. And I won't cry because it's very frustrating. I mean, we pay our property tax and we have no water. And I went back and I read years back when they bought this water project, it was for people who did not have water, who could not get water. And here we're sitting. I'm just blown away. So,
Well, I'll answer it the best that I can. We've been talking about Louisville Lane since I've been on the board, which is a
exactly.
little over 2 years. Quite frankly, it's a $500,000 project for the county that there's no way the county's ever going to get their money back from doing that. And we're
Right.
talking about raising the rates. So we're talking about using $500,000 of the public's money to extend this for 10 to 15 people on Louisville Lane. We approved it last year to
Right.
do it because we get it that you guys, and we've got water. It's an expensive project. And anytime you work with government stuff, it's going to be slow. But Mitch, the RFPs have gone out or will go out soon. But the money has been allocated from the county using ARPA funding to extend Louisville Lane to y'all's area. Beyond that, we voted on it last year to
Right.
move it forward.
Right.
And that's really the only authority that this board has. And the wheels move slow.
Right.
But it is approved.
Because we've been, we went south for 6 months for the winter, just because we didn't have water and he travels, so it's okay. And now we're back, we're living in a campground because, well, I can't even get a builder to talk, he can give me prices, but the bank's not gonna give me any money because I don't have any water. So, and I know, I remember, in August, we talked about they'd done 2 years ago when they first looked at it, it was 400,000, now it's like 550 some thousand, and so
The money has been allocated,
okay.
and however fast it takes the health department in the county and the RFPs to do that,
So I've heard fall.
You heard what?
Fall.
I should hope so,
Yeah.
because, they can't do much in the winter, right?
Right, well, he just gave us a report, he said,
Right.
we hope to have the water
2024.
by December, right? By the end of the year. And I understand your frustration. It's a frustrating situation, because we're taking $500,000 out of every taxpayer's pocket as well. So we catch it on both ends.
Yeah.
We're damned if we do, damned if we don't, but we committed to helping you guys. And I think we're way closer than we were when you first came in here. We would have thought we would have been even closer, but we're not. And, I apologize for that. I don't know if there's anything we could have done any differently at this point, but I think we're on track.
Yep, I apologize. I don't remember coming across your email. So
When we sent them out, we didn't get anything back. I checked spam and everything. I know you can see Jeff, had spoke, they talk all together, so they have outside contacts with emails, but, and
I
Paul, my
just
husband
wanted to
calls him.
apologize, though.
Well,
I do try to respond.
And we were just, we were in South Carolina, we were missing the meetings, and unfortunately, nobody else could come, and like tonight, Miss Lips had a meeting at school, everybody couldn't get here at 5, which we didn't know it was 5:30, that's a whole nother ballgame. But I will say, my husband calls Paul, he talks to him, actually, my husband miscalled him the other night, and he texted us back at 5:30 to say, what you need, and so it's been great. We've talked to him up here, we've seen him, we just, we keep hearing the end of this year by fall, we just, do I need to go to Galax and buy a house? Can I wait? We're in limbo. Miss Woods is in real limbo, because when you leave a house sitting, it loses its value, and, there's no water up there. So,
You don't want to go to Galax and buy a house, you'll be paying.
Now listen, I will sell you anything, y'all don't buy from Mitchell, you don't buy from me, but, interest rates are ridiculous too, but yeah, I want to go to Galax, and, and just like him talking about the water increase, I'd be glad to pay the increase, I just want water, any kind of water, I don't even care if I can drink it, as long as I can use it.
I knew you all were gone, but you weren't forgotten.
But we just got back, we've been back 3 weeks, so I wanted to come and see where we were, because we're working diligently out there and trying to, and we're the voice, everybody's texting, call as soon as the meeting's over, call us, I have a big mouth, so.
Since you're the only speaker, your time ran out about 3-4 minutes ago.
I know you like
You
to.
made up for all those meetings you missed.
I hope that helped answer your question, but we passed it, it's in motion, and it's going as fast as we don't have any control over it going faster.
So is it my understanding that when the health department signs off on it, it goes out for 90-day bid?
Yes, ma'am.
And then after the 90-day bid, then the state has to We
We'll
did.
have a public comment period that has to be met, and as soon as that's done, as soon as we select the engineering firm for the construction firm, then it will go quickly.
But the paperwork's still at the health department.
Paperwork right now is still at the health department. They understand your situation too, so they're working to expedite it on their side.
So I mean, we're gonna be mid-May next week, so if it came into May, June, July, August, then it's gonna sit in state, I mean, we're pushing December. All right,
Anytime you get the government involved, it's not good usually.
do I?
Whenever the government gets involved, it's not good and it's slow. Hey, I've got my card here. I'm not sure if you're my email.
No, I don't, well, we do, I mean,
I didn't know if it was on. the
I did, no, it's not, no phone
And
number.
guys,
no
I don't
emails.
know which one you emailed to, because there for a while, I was still getting Kenneth Belton's emails.
No, I did,
And I just didn't auto reply, and I thought it went to you.
no,
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to send it again, I can, but I promise I don't ignore people.
I wasn't gonna mention anything, Mr. Anderson was great about getting me some,
Mhm.
contacts, and I wasn't trying to put him on the spot, but no, we're just trying to get water.
I just gave county emails. I
Yeah,
didn't get
that's
that.
all.
no, it's all county,
It's all county.
All right, at this point, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
thank you.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
I know.
Okay. Brad Killen.